This bottle killed teacher Nancy, and we found fingerprints on it.
Sir, I only touched it because King gave it to me.
King, why did you give her the juice?
My son did nothing wrong.
And then explain why your fingerprints are on a bottle filled with poison.
Sir, that juice was never meant for teacher Nancy.
That evening, when the sun was setting and everywhere was becoming quiet, the school compound almost looked empty. The students had gone home and most of the teachers had left. Only the old security man, Baba Ibeji, was moving around with his torchlight. He checked the classrooms one by one, making sure all doors were locked. When he reached JSS 2 classroom, he pushed the door slightly and noticed it was open. He entered slowly. He was shocked immediately. On the floor, he saw teacher Nancy lying still with her eyes closed. He dropped his torchlight and shouted in fear. "Jesus Christ, Madam Nancy!" Baba Ibeji cried. He rushed to her side and shook her gently, but her body was cold and stiff. He trembled. "Who did this? Who killed this innocent woman?" he shouted.
His voice echoed in the empty building. Baba Ibeji quickly ran to the school gate and used his phone to call the police. Within minutes, a police patrol van arrived with sirens. The officers rushed in and saw the lifeless body. They asked Baba Ibeji questions, but he kept repeating, "I just found her here. She was already gone." Fear covered his old face. The police sealed the classroom immediately. They looked around carefully and saw a half-empty bottle of juice lying near the table, with some liquid spilled on the floor. The head of the team, Inspector Musa, picked it up with hand gloves. He said in a serious voice, "This may be evidence. We will test it." They carried teacher Nancy's body carefully out of the school. Baba Ibeji stood aside, shaking his head in sorrow. "Oh, this is a bad day. A teacher came to school healthy. But is leaving in death," he whispered, as tears filled his tired eyes. At the police laboratory, the bottle of juice was tested. The result shocked everyone. The drink was full of a dangerous poison. Inspector Musa frowned deeply. "So she was poisoned," he said. The next step was to conduct an autopsy on Nancy's body. Doctors carried out the test in the hospital morgue. After hours of work, the report came out. It showed that the same poison found in the bottle was present inside Nancy's system. It was clear that the juice killed her. Inspector Musa held the report and said, "We are dealing with a murder case, not accident." The investigation became serious. The police returned to the school the next morning. They dusted the bottle carefully and collected fingerprints. The result brought out 4 names. First, there was the fingerprint of teacher Nancy herself, which was normal since she drank from it. Secondly, they found the fingerprint of a young student named King. Thirdly, they found fingerprints of another student, Samantha. And lastly, the fingerprint of a grown woman, Nene, who was King's mother. Inspector Musa looked at the list and nodded slowly. "This means these 4 people touched the bottle at different times," he declared firmly. Inspector Musa gathered his team and gave them orders. "We must call these people in for questioning. We cannot jump to conclusions yet, but until we know the truth, all of them are suspects." The officers nodded and took notes. Baba Ibeji, who was standing nearby, scratched his head. He said with a shaky voice, "Inspector, I beg you, find the person that did this evil. Teacher Nancy was a good woman. She never quarreled with anybody. She loved these children like her own. Why should she die like this?" The inspector placed a hand on Baba Ibeji's shoulder gently. Later that day, the police went to King's house first. They met Nene and her son sitting in the living room. Inspector Musa introduced himself. "Madame, your fingerprints were found on the bottle that killed teacher Nancy. We need you and your son to come to the station for questioning." Nene was shocked. "What? My fingerprints? How is that possible? I don't know anything about this," she shouted. King looked frightened. "Mommy, what is happening?" he whispered. The inspector said calmly, "Madame, shouting will not solve it. You and your son must follow us. This is a murder case." The police also went to Samantha's house. They met her mother in the compound. "Good afternoon, officers," she greeted in confusion. "Is there any problem?" Inspector Musa replied, "Yes, madam. We need to speak with your daughter. Her fingerprints were found on the bottle of juice that killed her teacher. We must ask her questions."
Samantha's mother covered her mouth in shock. Blood of Jesus! My daughter is innocent. She is just a child, she cried. Samantha herself came out, trembling. Sir, I only held the juice King gave me. I did not drink it, she said with fear. Inspector Musa listened to Samantha and nodded. Young girl, you will have your chance to explain everything at the station. For now, you and your mother must come with us. Samantha's mother held her daughter's hand tightly. Tears rolled down her cheeks. My child, don't be afraid. God will fight for you.
She whispered. Samantha's lips shook as she asked softly, Mommy, am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? Her mother hugged her quickly. No, my daughter, you did nothing wrong. The truth will come out. The police officer stood patiently, waiting to take them along. By evening, all 4 suspects were officially invited to the police station. Nene, King, Samantha, and her mother. They were told to sit in a waiting room. Each of them wore a worried face. Nene was restless, tapping her feet on the floor. King looked down, afraid to speak. Samantha held her mother's hand, whispering prayers. The air was tense. Inspector Musa entered the room with 2 other officers. He looked at all of them and said in a serious tone, You are all suspects in the murder of teacher Nancy. One by one, you will be questioned. To be continued.